lots of parts laid out and ready to go for step number 103 and 104. Step number 103, we've gone ahead and pressed the nuts in. We have two onto one of the top braces and two onto the other top brace. We've gone ahead and laid out the rest of the parts so that we can get going here. Let's start off with our two roll cage halves, and we're going to point the part that has the V shape and the tail on it in this direction here. I'm going to lay the other one down on the opposite side. There is an inside and an outside to them, so we're going to work from the inside. Let's grab the unit that has the tab on it. This is a capture tab. Excuse me, a capture tab for the upper or the center roll cage that's already on the Baja. We're going to mount this, and it's pretty hard to mess it up because there are holes in here, and this is going to go on the centermost holes, not the ones that go forward, but the center one here, and we're going to mount it with the tab down. And it's going to slide into that hole. Another way to know you're putting it in the right way is you can match up the through hole with the screw hole in the center portion. Let's go ahead and snap that in. Take the other half and do the same. There's a bunch of self-tapping screws that we're going to be using. There's 4 of them that are longer than the others, and those are the 4 that are going to go into the first steps that we're doing right now. Let's go ahead and screw this one in. And we'll screw the other one in. Okay, now let's grab the second piece. And this is going to go in with the nuts facing down. And again, you can match up the through hole with the through hole on here if you would like. But you can just remember, put it in with nuts down. Come on. There we go. Helps to have it turned in the right direction. It only fits in one way, thank God, or I'd be taking it off again. I'm surprised we haven't messed up too many times on this build, at least not that we know of. We'll find out in the end. Alrighty, we have just about got these in. Once these are in, let's go ahead and move to the front of the roll cage, and we're going to install the brace number 85440-2, which is this unit right here, and there is no front or back. We're going to press these into the holes that are on the top of the bracket, like so. Turn it over and insert 2 screws. The rest of the screws we have left now are all the same length, and they're the shorter of them. We use the 4 longer ones on the 2 pieces we just installed. Okay. Boy, I don't know about you guys, but it's springtime here in California, and allergies are just running rampant, so excuse my wheezing and coughing and sneezing. Alright, those 4 screws are in. Now let's move around to the back. I've already pre-installed the nuts, and they go on the V section, not the tail section, with just 1 stick, but onto the V section. And we are going to put what in there? Actually, we are not going to put anything in there at the moment. But what we are going to do is, I'm looking forward at the directions here. We are going to put the metal brace in. And that's going to go into the single sections here. Very simply line up the hexes and push them in. We'll put screws in those later, but just press those in until they stick. And we are now going to move to the top. Let's go ahead and grab our metal plate, and that's going to align over the 4 holes on the top. And then we're going to take our plastic top, and you can see the indentations here on the roll cage, and that's where these are going to slide in. They'll clip in there. Make sure the 2 holes in front line up, and we are now going to screw these in. We're going to use the 2 cap screws, and those are going to go into the front here. Make sure we get the right length. I think they're all the same length. Yep. Need to make sure everything's lined up here. Come on. What am I doing wrong? Got to be doing something wrong. They're not going in. Yeah, it just wasn't aligned properly. Going to bring down my torque on these. And now we're going to insert the 2 screws into the back, which are a shorter beveled screw. And make sure everything lines up. These roll cages are meant to bend and torque, so they're not extremely rigid. So you can get, just put a little pressure on something if it's not quite lining up properly, and it'll go. From here, we're going to turn our attention to the rear of the cage. And we should have 4 cap screws left over. Let's go ahead and grab those out. And we're going to install the post holders. This is the inside, and this is the outside. They're universal. Very simply going to screw them onto here. We pre-installed nuts on the back of this earlier, and then this rod is threaded on the inside. So we're going to put these on. And again, a lot of the stuff back here doesn't line up that great because it is flexible, so you just have to move stuff around until it fits in. And we'll repeat the process on the other side. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. If you'll take note, there's a front and a back, and there's also a top and a bottom. You can see that it's a V shape going down. A V shape going down, and that wants to go towards the bottom of the cage. So I got lucky and put the first one on right without looking. Going to pre-thread these up a little bit. We'll line them up here and screw them in. Okay, I believe that is all we're going to do on the roll cage for now. That completes step number 104. Let's go ahead and drag our buggy over and get our steps and pieces and parts ready for step number 105. All right, step number 105. Before we get going on the step, I want to revisit the last step because I forgot to do something. We forgot to put the screws into the side of the top. Looked in my bucket and there were 4 screws left over, and I realized that we forgot to do something. So these are going to go into here to secure the back of the top onto the roll cage. So, yes, we forgot to do something. Once we get this done, we're going to assemble our rear body post, and it's pretty simple. You're going to get out the body post itself, as well as the 2 body mount pads, and then there's also 2 shoulder screws that we're going to be using to hold the pads in. And what the pads do is it allows the body to rest against them, and they rotate to give a nice resting surface for the body. So, there we go. That's all ready. So this is your post, and these are the pads, and you'll see a hole in the side of the post here and holes in the side of the pad. You'll notice that one hole is threaded and the other hole is not threaded on the pad. So the threaded portion of the hole is going to go towards the outside. We're going to slip the shoulder bolt through there and screw it in. Just go in till it's even, and these should flop around on there, and you should see the end of the post through the other hole. So again, we're going to put the threaded portion out and then slide the shoulder bolt through and tighten it up till it's even. I'm going to go grab my buggy, and we're going to need 4 body clips, and those are going to be the larger body clips. And then we are also going to need 2 of these little retaining washers with the flat sides. We're going to install the cage onto our buggy. It's pretty simple. Be right back with my buggy.